The worst ego trip I ever had was the time that we were taking that ride from the hotel to the restaurant. He stopped traffic for me to open my car door and let me into the, and I was like, oh.
Congress Street in Portland.
I will never recover.
Very busy street.
I'm not the same person after
People
this.
were honking at him and he was like, don't care. Queen is getting out of the car.
I'm a different person now.
I was like, you don't know what you've just unleashed.
And so now I'm just like, men will stop traffic for me. Pick me up at the door. If you're not stepping into oncoming traffic for me, what are you doing?
And it wasn't me. He didn't care about
we had
me.
2 children with us. They
Did not care about the kids' safety at all. Or me. It was just like, he knew exactly who to zero in on.
What if I just kept this in front of me the whole time?
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
Does this work, do you think?
I can't read it, but maybe if you hold it to the camera. Yeah.
I should silence my phone.
You should. I already did. I
don't know
am
why I've been-
ahead of the game
I've
today.
been being a super old person and turning my volume up like to 100. And so when my
Me too.
When my phone rings lately, I'm like, like, what is this? Whose old lady phone is ringing? I keep doing
It can't
this.
be mine.
I keep forgetting to talk into the mic. Hello, everyone. Sorry.
Hello.
I'm just getting settled because I have to monitor myself. I need a new.
We need tables.
I agree.
We definitely need to we need a shopping trip.
We have not gone shopping with Tim in a long time.
We need to go back to, what's that place?
Deja vu.
Deja vu. Yeah. Yes.
I have my emotional support lint roller,
Perfect.
the star of the show.
This is ginger beer, not actual beer, so everybody calm down if you see me take a sip
We're
of
a
this.
marketing agency, guys. Who cares?
I think there is some in the fridge, though.
Annalyn's back with me today.
Yay!
We're so excited.
Don't everybody get excited at once.
I'm very excited. Show everyone your bracelet that I brought back from you from Barcelona.
Check this out. From Barcelona.
It's a dragon. It's got really bright blue eyes.
It's so perfect. I was telling her, it's as soon as she put it on, it's like a weighted blanket for my wrist.
Yeah.
And it's also like spiky. Mm-hmm. So I feel like as a woman, anytime you have jewelry that could double as like a personal weapon,
Yeah.
personal, defense,
Yeah.
is just like a win.
Yeah. So take that to Texas with you.
Oh yeah, this is coming to Texas with me, and I have to give a presentation there too. So I'm gonna wear it and just be
It's for physical and emotional
powerful
support.
and really, intimidating. So they're just gonna be like, "That was the best presentation we've ever seen."
It doesn't even matter
all
what
of
you
it.
say.
Approve,
Yeah.
approve.
We're scared of the dragon lady.
Yes. I am building a stronger reputation from this day forward.
So I'm so glad that it fits and that it works and that you like it.
I love it.
I feel like this is not where I want it.
I'm
There.
gonna do a close up of it.
I'm back from Europe.
I am so glad you're back.
I can't. I felt like I was gone for 100 years.
Yes, at least.
And I'm still jet lagged. Both going there and coming back took 24 full hours. I can't. So on the way there,
just
I haven't even got to
disgusting.
tell you about any of this yet. On the way there, I was awake for, I don't want to exaggerate, but I think it was 34 hours straight.
I believe it.
Because from the time I left my house, traveled to Boston, took my flight to DC, had a 7-hour layover in DC.
How did that go?
Oh my word!
Because weren't you in like a lounge?
I was gonna do the fancy lounge
Yeah.
thing, and it was complicated and irritating. And there was like 10 lounges, and I was just like, It was just like whatever.
So you didn't do that experience at all?
We didn't do that.
Yeah.
It was just like because it was like you can only be in the lounge up to 3 hours before your flight departs.
What?
And I'm like, for $70, like, no, thank you.
No.
Pass. Because they really want you to become a United member.
Oh.
So they're like, well, if you're just going to do a day pass, then loser, you can be here for 3 hours. And I'm like,
You can slum it the
I'm
rest
not
of the time.
falling for your scam, United.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We were just like, you know what? We'll eat at a restaurant here. We'll hang out, and It was fine. But then 7 hours there, and then it was an 8.5 hour red eye to Barcelona, and then from the time we got to Barcelona, and then took an Uber to our Airbnb, that was at least 24 hours, and then I was just like, now I'm awake.
Right,
now I'm
right. You're all
settling
messed up.
in, and I was just like, oh, we should. It was daytime there then, and I was like, we should take a nap, but I could not sleep, and I was just like, I guess we're gonna go play in the city now. And then the same thing happened coming home. Our layover wasn't as long in DC, but by the time I got back to Boston, the flight home from DC was just like so bad. There was like no air conditioning on the plane. Everything was delayed. Like from sitting in the airport in DC to sitting on the tarmac, it was like, we're just gonna keep driving circles. We're just going to keep riding circles. And then we were all just like sitting in the sun. And finally the pilot is like, they just won't give us permission to take off, but we're trying. And we're just like, everyone on the plane was red and sweating. Babies are crying. And we're just like, for
It's
the
like
love
my
of God,
nightmare.
for the love of God, just let us take off. I just want to go home so bad. And then we land in Boston, and they won't let us off the plane. And I'm like, I'm like, oh, you've got a whole flight full of people from Boston who are gonna riot.
Yeah.
And everyone is getting so cranky, and it was late at night. And then we get off the plane. It took freaking forever to get our bags out of the baggage check, and then couldn't find my ride who was picking me up. I'm wandering around with these heavy bags through Logan, like trying to find the person picking me up. And then it took an hour to get home.
Bodyguards.
Okay.
This is just convincing me that we need to hire, Deb and I need to hire them.
I agree.
Because Tim and Bill won't do it
Bill
for us.
Bill needs to hire them.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Because
sometimes
we've talked about that.
we are going to go on a trip together.
Yes.
And we're going to hire those bodyguards.
We are.
And it's a service. If you guys don't know, this is a real service where you can hire bodyguards.
We
for
saw like
trip.
a TikTok or something,
I
and
forget
we were
what
like,
the company. It's a company of like actual like retired police officers or
Secret Service guys.
Yeah, like, and they just do it as like a. We'll come.
And
with
they
you
look the part. They're like all like kitted out in these dark suits and glasses, and they're like getting you Starbucks, getting you a car, like driving you where you need to go, carrying your bags.
It's kind of the treatment I deserve
and protecting
at
you
all times. Yeah, I mean, who was I just telling? I think it was yesterday that the worst ego trip I ever had was the time that we were taking that ride from the hotel to the restaurant, and our chauffeur's name was Christian, and he literally stepped out in front of cars in the street for me and put his hand out and stopped cars to then open my car door he stopped traffic for me to open my car door and let me into and I was like, oh.
Congress Street in Portland.
I will never recover.
Very busy street.
I'm not the same person after
People were honking at him and he was like, don't care. Queen is getting out of the car.
I was like, I'll never recover. I'm a different person now.
I was like, you don't know what you've just unleashed. Like...
And so now I'm just like, men will stop traffic for me. Pick me up at the door.
Exactly.
If you're not stepping into oncoming traffic for me, what are you doing?
And like when we were at the restaurant and I think I called or you called, but as soon as I said we were finished eating, he's like, I'll be there in 5. Mm-hmm. I'll be right there. I'll be out front. And again, stop traffic to help you into the car. Like it wasn't just he opened the door, and it wasn't me. He didn't care about me.
We had 2 children with us.
They did not care about the kids' safety at all, or me. It was just like he knew exactly who to zero in on.
I was like, thank you so much. There was one time I had to valet for a Matterport in Boston. Oh, every time the sweet doormen at anywhere I've gone to at a hotel in Boston or whatever, they're always like, this one man was like, he was just like, it is my pleasure to have gotten your car for you. anytime you come back to Boston, I will park your car. And I'm like,
I don't care where in Boston you are.
I'm like, Boston's a big city, babe. Anytime I come back to Boston, you will park my car. Can I have your card? It's just like like intensely. It is my greatest pleasure to have parked your Mazda CX-5 car. I'm like, thank you so much. Like, this is...
I feel like we give off very different energy because I wasn't surprised that Christian did not care at all about me because I'm very much like, I'll do it myself. Get out of my way. I don't need a man. Yes. And you're just like...
And I'm just like...
You better help me.
Can you carry me to the car?
You're not a helpless female by any means, but it's about, like, you will take care of me. And I'm like, I will take care of myself.
These sidewalks are
Thank you.
Dirty.
Right.
My shoes. It's cold out here. I love it so much.
It's great.
Yeah. So I don't even know how we got talking about that. Oh, going on a flight. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
and how you probably should have had that to speed things up for you and bust you into that lounge or basically like create your own lounge. Mm-hmm. They would have done that for you.
So, I wanted to tell you about all my travel tips.
I'm glad.
Of things that I was so glad I had and things that you definitely should take. Because I realized I had not flown since before COVID. I haven't flown in 15 years. The last time I flew, I went to Germany with my grandmother, and it was kind of like a heritage tour with her. It was really cool. I got to go to her hometown in Marburg, and we walked through. It's a university town. It's beautiful. And they also, like, one of the things I really wanted to do was see, they have a camera obscura where you could see the whole town. Oh.
And that was like on my list of things to see. And I had a similar experience where we flew in. I was up like 24 hours, and we got to my family's house. Like they're related to my Oma, my grandmother, and we stayed with them while we were there. And so we got to their house, and my sisters were like, "We're taking a nap," and I'm like, "I need to see everything." I couldn't sleep, and so we got to see the camera obscura that day, and it ended up being the only day it was open. So if I had taken a nap, I would have missed it.
That's amazing.
But anyway, that was amazing. That was the last time I've flown, though. I haven't gone anywhere else. Shortly after that, I had my daughter, and then
but
just didn't go anywhere. So. But I was But I don't know anything about flying. I feel like I'm starting over. Like, I don't know airport etiquette
Do you know what
anymore.
Just went into my head? I'm like, was that before or after 9/11? I don't know where we are in the stream of time. That was after.
It was after. Yeah. It was after.
How old am I?
It's okay.
Because it was a very different time flying before 9/11.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah. No, this was after, but I still feel like, 15 years is kind of a big chunk of time to not fly even commercially.
Yeah.
So I feel like I just don't know what to expect anymore. I don't know what's changed. I don't know, like... I feel really stupid about it, like really dumb. I don't know what to do.
I don't really know if anything has changed per se, but I think the realization, because I took 4 flights on this trip, I think the biggest realization I had is I'm like, flying out of every airport is so different.
Oh,
because like Logan, Boston is so, I feel like they are the most strict, but I like it the best because they're so, to me, this is my opinion, very orderly and very much like moving things along quickly. I went through security the fastest through there.
Did they scan your face or your ID? I was reading up about that, how
they scanned my face in DC.
You can opt out of that. Because that kind of makes me a little twitchy. I'm like, I don't know if I want to be part of a database. They say that
Do you have a passport?
I have a real ID.
I can't remember. That did happen to me once, and I don't remember which airport it was in. I do think it was Boston.
Yeah.
But it didn't freak me out at all. It was like...
I just don't like them having a picture of my face, even though
they have it.
Even though they say that they get rid of it and stuff. And I'm like...
Have it. They already have
I
it.
don't know. Conspiracy theorist part of my brain is just like,
I get it.
you can't have more of me.
It was weird. It
Go
was
away.
kind of weird to me, but I was like, it sped everything up so quickly. Basically, what happened when that happened to me is it was like the two lines. I think that was in DC that happened. The two lines separated, and it was kind of just like this person was doing the face scanning, and this person was just checking passports, and it was just going faster.
Okay,
so it's basically
cool.
the line was moving twice as fast.
Yeah. So I won't be that person.
And the
be
only
like,
time I saw anyone's face
slowing
get
it down.
denied was children's faces were getting denied, and so they were like pulling the children aside to check double check their passports. So
Yeah.
But it was just quick. It was just like you step in front of it, and it was like, it did it through customs too, maybe. Yeah, in customs they scanned my face. I don't know. It's all a blur, but it didn't freak me out at all. I was just like, they already have a picture of my face. You know, it's all over the internet.
It's true. I'm not really careful
putting it
about
on the
where I
internet
put my. I got to rephrase that.
She definitely doesn't have any inappropriate accounts online.
I am careful about where I put my face.
What did I call myself?
What I
A woman
meant by
of
that
a woman of the
was
internet on
online.
a previous episode as a woman of the internet.
Right. I'm having that moment right now.
No.
Yeah.
Where was I going with that?
So, what? Like, we're flying out of Logan to go to Texas for
it was
this
so easy.
business trip.
It was so easy. It's so easy. I think. So, are you checking a bag?
No, I'm trying not to.
And that wasn't hard
Because
either.
mostly because I want to tease Tim because he said he's bringing a check bag. We are going to be there 2 nights.
Yeah.
1 full day only. So
yeah.
I'm like, if I can't get that all in a carry-on, there's something wrong with me.
Well, yeah.
Like,
And
I should be able to do
bag,
that.
between a carry-on and a personal
I
bag.
should be fine.
Yeah,
And Tim like scoffed at me and was like, "I'm bringing a checked bag," and I'm like,
He's bringing
"For
2.
what?
He's
Your
bringing 2.
moisturizer? Like what? What's happening here?"
Actually,
I think we need to get him on
we do.
episode and
We should do
break down what he's
a
bringing.
travel essentials with Tim.
Yes, we should all bring our carry-ons in here and talk about what we pack for a work trip because I have a feeling he's like the neediest traveler
He actually
between
has
the three
a really
of us.
great skincare routine. That's why he's so hot, I think. Actually,
It could be why he looks better than both of us.
so the reason, the really big reason that I do think a check bag is necessary, at least for me, is because of all of my skincare stuff.
See,
because you can only have a quart size.
Right.
bag.
I already have it like pretty much put together.
But I use so many lotions and potions on this body
yeah.
that they were never going to fit into that tiny little bag. And
See,
so I just had like my whole checked bag full of
liquids.
liquid bag. So that was really the only reason I was never going to get rid of it.
I have a skincare line that I really love, and I have a lot of little like child sizes of them. Mm-hmm. So I just put some of those in, but I don't do a lot.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's obvious.
So you'll be fine then. Yeah.
But I just was more like, do I have toothpaste? Do I have shampoo? And
no, I think just be ready to. Logan was the only airport that made me take my shoes off.
see, I don't want to take my shoes off and like walk.
I wore not these exact ones, but I wore Toms. Something like this was super easy.
I think I'm gonna. I know it's Texas and it's like 90 degrees, but I feel like I have to have a pair of boots with me because if I need to kick any men or
Yeah, she's got her steel toes
or
on her.
run after anyone,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like more solid if I
It's
have
fine.
boots.
You know what I
so
always
I feel
think?
like
You know what I always think going through security? Everyone always rushes you. Take your time. Everyone can
take
settle
up
down.
space.
Yep. Everyone
Yep.
can settle down. You'll get through when you get through.
Mm-hmm.
People, you know what was kept happening? People the whole trip cutting lines and making me alone. So 3 times on this trip did I have to be like, the line is behind me. People stepping in front of me. And this one couple on my way home, they were going to miss their connecting flight. It was so obvious, and I didn't care. I was just like, because they're being rude.
Oh, see, that's the difference.
If they had been like, they whacked my friend in the head trying to get off the flight first on our connecting. And I was just like so mad about that. Like, your life's more important than mine. They didn't apologize for hitting her in the head. And so then they're running off. And so then when we had to go through, security and customs and whatever to then get onto our connecting flight to Boston, they were then behind us and they tried to step in front of us. And I was like, no, If they had politely been like, I'm so sorry, we are going to miss our next flight. Do you mind if I would have been like, of course.
Yeah.
But because they're being rude and shoving and punching us, I was like, nope.
I'm going to slow it down and make you even later.
I'm going to go slower. Ugh, I'm that person. Because your life's not more important than mine. And I don't care if you miss your flight now, actually. So anyway, travel essentials I think you should have.
Be petty. Bring your pettiness.
And bring your attitude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Other to make the whole process at the airport easier and the flight better.
I brought an empty water bottle.
Okay.
And filled it after I went through security. That was came in clutch. I brought eye drops.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
Because, granted, your flight to Texas is probably not crazy long.
I think it's
I've flown to Texas before.
4.5 hours, somewhere in that range.
Yeah, probably
it's
not
not
even
that long.
It's direct, right?
It's just over 4 hours.
It's
Tim
direct.
just sent me the itinerary.
Still, I was like, at one point I have contacts and I was like, I was rubbing. I forgot them on the way there to put them into my personal bag, and so they were in my checked bag, and I was like, I regret it because I was literally taking water from my water bottle and rubbing it in my eyes because I was just like, ugh.
Oh my goodness.
We found at Staples these earplugs that prevent ear popping, and oh my God.
I need that because mine hurt so bad on that flight to Germany. And I'm like, it's just going to hurt worse.
My life. And for me, it's really only takeoff and descending.
Yes.
And so when they would announce, we're going to be taking off, I put them in, wait till we get to, top elevation, and then take them out. And I never had an issue. Never had an issue.
You'll definitely have to tell me
same with landing.
To get.
Same with landing.
Yeah.
As soon as they knew we were going to be landing, put them in. And then as soon as we were on the ground, take them out.
I need that.
Super helpful. Because anytime I've ever flown before having those, always such an issue and painful. I have a shattered eardrum. Do you know that?
Mine's No, I didn't.
I jumped off a bridge once. Do you know that story about me?
On purpose?
On purpose.
Okay, you're live, so there must have been water.
I jumped off a bridge and I shattered my eardrum.
How old were you?
25.
That should have been a question.
Dang it.
For the team, for a team member to guess.
No one's
for the end
they
of an
don't
episode.
watch this. I'll watch. Yeah.
That's a good one. I did not know that about
I jumped off a bridge and I shattered my ear because I landed just enough so that when my ear hit the water, it shattered my eardrum. And so it permanently is kind of damaged, and I'm slightly deaf in my right ear. So fun facts about Christy.
Oh my God. Those
it really
earplugs
hurts
really helped
when it pops. Yeah.
Wow.
I get really nauseous too. So I had, and I'll try to find the brand for you, and maybe I'll put it on the screen when I find it.
Yeah.
Certain kind of nausea pills, and taking them 30 minutes before takeoff, I never got nauseous, not even once, which blew my mind because every time I've ever flown,
oh wow,
I am 8 times concussed. Another Christy fact. So I get nauseous super easily, in the car. I can't do roller coasters anymore. So going in the plane, I always am, that whole thing that happens, I'm always ugh, super, super sick, and then I can't get over it. These pills, I was never nauseous, not even for a minute.
Wow.
And so
I've never gotten nauseous on a plane, but I also feel being in my late 40s, my body is totally different now, and I'm I didn't know this is what it did now. So flying again now, I'm I really don't know how I'm going to react to any of it because I feel I'm a totally different person. So that would be very helpful to know,
just
to have it on hand, just in case it does suddenly become a problem?
Yeah. Some kind of face spraying hydration mist, because
That would have to count as a liquid.
yeah, but you could get a small small bottle of it. Like, I don't know what your skincare needs are if you're sensitive to anything, but
I am, but I do have a spray that I like.
even just water, honestly, in a little spray mist, because it gets so dry that you just feel. The other thing is cooling wipes, which you can get right at the Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I was stuck in DC and it was like so freaking hot. I wanted to die.
Yeah.
Just to, like, cool yourself off. Like,
Yeah,
that
that's a
that
really
came
good
in
idea.
pretty clutch.
Because if we're stuck on the tarmac in Texas when it's 90 degrees and we're just boiling,
And so with that, unfoldable fan, we had those, and that was really good.
that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Where did you find that? Like, just like a.
We found those. I feel like the dollar store has them, but you have time to look online.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Next week's it. We leave the week after.
Oh, that's right.
So
Wow.
I know. All of a sudden, it's coming up fast. It's been like months away for so long, and now I'm like, oh my god, I'm not prepared.
Yeah. But you're not sleeping on your flight, so all my little sleep tips are not, because my biggest sleep tip was don't do it.
Yeah,
Don't bother.
I couldn't. There's
Do
no
not bother,
way.
because it's so frustrating. Like, the neck pillow thing for me doesn't work. Like hanging your head and your feet, like, don't bother.
No.
Even on a red eye, I'm just like, don't even do it.
No.
Distract yourself instead and sleep when you get there, because it is so. Unless you were just like naturally inclined to falling asleep wherever, I was just like, I regret even trying. Instead, like, I put it in my brain, like, just like rest your eyes if you need to for a few minutes and distract yourself with entertainment, whether that's music or I had my tablet and I had pre-downloaded things to watch. So do that.
Oh,
whether
that's a
on
good
your
idea.
phone, if you have Netflix, if you have Max, download, find a show and download episodes of something that you're really excited about. If you have a YouTube premium account, download episodes of our podcast to watch ahead of time, and find something that like passes the time.
Yeah.
If you have Spotify premium, you can download books to listen to. Because for me, I'm like, I can't really read on a plane. It makes me sick. If you're that kind of person, maybe you can do that. But for me, I'm like, you've got to do things that pass the time quickly for you.
Yeah.
So movies that you're like, I've been dying to watch this movie, save it for the plane.
Right.
And download it ahead of time, because the Wi-Fi, unless you're going to pay for it, or at least on United or the ones that I remember, like, it's free, but it's only free for things like texting. So like you can't use social media. So like I've been communicating with everyone on WhatsApp. So I could text on WhatsApp connected to the Wi-Fi, which is great. So get ahead with people on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
So if you want to be able to text in the
That's
air.
a good idea. Yeah.
And then if you have wired headphones, you can watch their entertainment on the back of. So they're free movies or TV. There was like seasons of randomly like TV shows, like The Big Bang Theory or whatever. Like,
what kind of plug-in do you need for
just a normal headphone jack?
It's a normal. Okay.
And then some of our flights had outlets to plug into. And then like our one on the way home, worst flight was the one on the way home. None of the outlets worked for no reason. And I was just like, whatever. But so I wouldn't count on it, but it is there. But I think the biggest thing is keeping like your body refreshed. So like
did you eat on the plane?
They only serve meals on like long flights, like the 8-hour ones. But the ones from DC to Boston, they just give you snacks and drinks.
I'm probably gonna have to bring my own.
And the problem is I'm like, I wanted to. Yeah, you should, and you can. I wanted to just keep drinking to stay hydrated, but then I was I was at the window seat. I didn't want to have to keep making the person out. On 2 of the flights, I was with me and just my travel partner, and I was fine getting up that way. But when there was another third person. I didn't want to keep making them get up.
Yeah.
And that was just like awkward because they'd have to get their whole tray up and everything they had settled in with. And so I'm like, I held my pee for like 2 hours on one of the flights and finally was like, I think I'm going to die. I think I might die if I don't make this person get up.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how that'll go. I'm not excited about that part.
Pee in the airport.
I'm hoping for no dramatics for this, my first trip in 15 years.
Yeah. You need a good travel outfit, I think.
Yeah,
Do you know what you're
I'm
gonna wear?
stuck on. I do not know. I'm not good at that.
Like,
I love what I'm wearing today because it's super comfortable. And I actually, as I've been wearing it today, I'm like, it's short sleeved. I'm just wearing a sweater, but I'm like, I thought after I put it on, I was like, oh, this might be good because it's really comfortable. But it has like faux leather on it. And I'm like, I don't know if that's going to work well in Texas with 80% humidity and 95
it's more
degrees.
of like the pants situation because you want to avoid having like being uncomfortable and having like a belt because then you have to take your belt off.
I don't wear belts as a rule. I think they're inhuman.
I'm becoming a belt lady. I'm trying to accessorize.
Belts are just torture.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Kind of like bras. It's just.
See, no, I'm okay with those. I'm okay with those.
I'm not sorry to the men listening. But pants like these that are just like, these are stretchy, but they're also
what
like,
I live in.
They're dress pants.
Yeah.
We're good for traveling in because I was just like, I don't want to show up like a total bum, like in pajamas, but I want to be comfortable too.
Right.
So
I'm going back and forth between like, how bougie do I want to look on the flight? Like, do I go like crop leggings and my trail running shoes and, just like a cute top and a sweater? Or am I going to wear like my comfy dress pants and my Docs and
just dress for yourself.
No, I'm like,
just for
I don't.
However you were going to.
I'm trying to like plan a couple different things because I'm also very. This is what's hard about traveling for me is I'm very much. I need to know. I don't plan ahead what I'm going to wear. It's I wake up. What do I feel like? What fabric can I tolerate today?
Yes,
you know, and
I
so
know.
I tend to overpack, but limiting myself to a carry-on is really gonna rein that in and make me really have to be intentional about things. And it's kind of short-circuiting my brain a little bit because I'm like, but what if I don't like any of these things? Like I wake up in the morning and I'm like, I can't wear any of this. But that's going to be a little challenging for me. But I'm aiming though for the plane comfort. I have to be comfortable because I know I'm going to be a little bit stressed because I'm claustrophobic too. And I'm curious how I'm going to feel on the plane with so many other people. I hate the people I don't know. And also like traveling and not knowing who the pilot is. Like I've never seen your face. Like, and I had this too when I had my surgery. Like I've never met you, the surgeon, and
so
you're going
to trust you with my life.
Right. I have such a hard time with that.
Usually when you're boarding, the pilot stands there and greets you.
That would be great. Like I really hope that happens for this one because I'm like, I want to look at you and get a feeling of, okay,
trust.
I can be calm because this person is, I don't know, I need to get a read on them.
Yeah.
So like you're taking this as seriously as I am,
Show me your
right?
licenses.
Right.
Show me your credentials.
I need to know you're a good person and that you care.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this just popped in my head. You know what also happened to us? We were so convinced we were flying with a celebrity on one of our trips.
How exciting.
In fact, we were being so creepy about it because when this was DC to Barcelona, standing in line, the character George from Grey's Anatomy. I don't know if you know.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, it's an actor from Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah. I think I might know who it is.
I'm so certain it was him.
Really?
I was like just staring at him, and I was like, eventually I pulled up Google and I'm like comparing his face to his face to his face to like, is his chin like that? Does his ear have that curve? And I was like, I know it's him. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I just know it's him. And then I'm like, okay, I think this guy's gay. And is that guy his sister or his wife? Are they going to kiss? And I was just like, but
that is creepy.
Listen, oh, I know, I don't care. And when we got off the plane in Barcelona, there was a line of people at the barrier with their phones waiting for someone to get off.
Oh.
I know.
Do you think they would have for this person? Were they like famous enough for that kind of reaction, do you think? Or do you think there might have been
there was some
someone
celebrity
else?
on one of our flights?
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe it really was. I don't know.
That's cool.
But I don't know for sure. Or it was for me.
I mean, really.
I was like, guys.
Word got out.
In fact,
You should have.
when we went to the Eiffel Tower, my whole joke the whole time was like, gosh, I can't go anywhere without people taking pictures of me. Like, it's just like, enough. Just the whole time. Just
I know the sun's hitting me just right now.
when I was at
but try to
Versailles,
calm
when I was at
down.
Versailles, I was just like, ugh, everywhere I go, they're pulling out their phones.
I love it.
Yeah.
Texas, I'm a little, I feel a little intimidated by Texas. I'm realizing the closer that we get to it, it feels like such an iconic state, and we're going to Austin. So it feels like a very, I don't even know what the word is, but it just, maybe it's just because I'm so isolated in where I've been lately and haven't been anywhere.
I think it'll be really good for you.
I'm very excited about it. I think it's going to be a lot to take in, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I had this moment in the air where I was just kind of like, wow, there's so much earth. Look at all that earth. Like, it's so
I'm
big.
only ever on a very small part of it.
Yeah. And it's good for you mentally to like actually see that with your eyeballs.
Yeah.
It feels really good to get off of it and see it from up high. Like, it feels good.
It's funny because I feel like this trip I'm going to be hyper aware of being in the plane, but like every other time I've flown, the flight, I have only very vague memories, except for the flight home from Germany when we came over Ireland. The what's it called? What's it called?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Turbulence.
Oh.
Was so bad.
Yeah.
That even the flight attendants were like white knuckling in their seats and looking scared. And the pilot came on. All he said was, "It's going to be bad."
Oh.
And it felt like we were free falling into that. It wasn't going to stop. So that was terrifying. That, like, I remember that, but any other time I've flown, like, I don't really have any big recollections of it, but I feel like I'm going to be hyper aware of this flight and every part of it.
Yeah. I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
It'll be good for you.
I think so too. It's going to be good.
Yeah. Well, to end this, I
You
wanted
didn't
to
tell me to bring a lint roller.
Oh, well. You need
I
emotional
probably
support.
should, like at least two maybe.
You probably should bring one or two. Tiny ones. They make tiny ones.
Yeah. I'm going to make
tiny
mine.
emotional support.
So it's like, I'm going to do like a flat Stanley kind of thing and have like your head on the top part.
Aw.
And then the bottom will be like fur booties or something. And so I'll be like, I'm rolling with Christy.
Christy's with me.
She's making me look good, like always.
I'm sad I'm not going.
I know. I tried so hard
Put
to
me
get
in your
you.
carry-on.
I'm doing it. I'm going to do it.
Okay.
I don't need anything. I'll bring my toothbrush.
I weigh 150 pounds, so I'm over
Done.
the 50-pound limit, but
Who's gonna care?
Bill's paying for it.
It's got wheels. I'll just wheel you in, and I'll make Tim put you in the overhead. Be like, can you pick this up for me, Tim?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about what's in it.
Yeah. It's just all my face creams.
Essentials only.
You know.
Essentials only.
Wink, wink. You get it.
So Bill and I filmed a podcast in France. We've been talking about this for a while. It was crazy. And I wanted to include that at the end of this episode.
Oh, it's perfect.
He's like, let's do it on the train. And I was like, let's not. Can we please not? So we had some time to kill in the train station, which ended up working out. and we filmed it with a baguette. And
Perfect.
all the stereotypes about France are true. People walk around just carrying around baguettes and eating them.
And smoking.
And every person smokes. I'm like, I came back being like, dang it, I want to smoke. It's cool. It's cool over there. It's not cool here.
No.
But it's so cool over there. Like 14-year-old kids are sitting at restaurants smoking. One of my servers
Yeah.
was smoking while serving at a restaurant.
No.
I swear to God. Swear to God.
Oh my God.
Swear to God. I was like, this is not hygienic, but it's entertaining.
Wow.
Yeah. We were just sitting amongst, this is not a judgment. It was just wild. I was just like, huh.
So you can
I
smoke.
come from a family of smokers, so I'm not like clutching my pearls at it. I'm just like,
could
weird.
they like smoke in restaurants over there?
Yeah.
I know in Germany they still could way back when I was there.
I think only outside.
There was an outdoor area where they could.
Well,
but not
everything
inside.
outside, but I feel like there were people just smoking inside and no one cared. People are just walking around smoking everywhere, and
Unless you were American, then they'd care.
Actually, people loved us as Americans.
Really? That surprises me.
Everyone's like, everyone hates Americans in Europe. Nope.
Especially France, I've heard.
Everyone loved us as Americans. We're like, wow, Americans.
And it's you.
I love your accent. Maybe it's just me.
I think it's just you,
me.
honestly.
It's just me. I had to transition from bonjour everywhere I went when I got back. I got back to DC and was like, oh, I have to put my bonjour, au revoir, away. I'm like, sad. I liked that.
You can still say it here.
Yeah. So anyway, please enjoy the clip of Bill and I. It's entertaining. We'll call it that. But it did not make for a full episode. So
it's free dive in Paris.
It's free dive in Paris. So yeah. Enjoy.
Bye.
All right, folks. It's time for a special edition of the Free Dive podcast. Bill and Christy, and we're actually in the train station in Perpignan, France. Hey, Christy.
Hello. Welcome.
Yes. So we're going to see how this goes. It might be trash, but if it is, we'll just joke that it's for our premium subscribers. Yes. So some of you might be asking, why are Bill and Christy doing a podcast from a train station in France?
Yes, you may be asking that.
Well, it's a tax write-off. This is all just a tax. No, I'm kidding. And if you're an IRS agent, like cracking your knuckles right now, getting ready, I joke this is not a tax write-off. But Christy joined Amanda and I, and then her good friend, lovers of aquariums around the world. And they're on a European aquarium journey. How do the European aquariums rate to American aquariums?
Really loved the one in Barcelona. We enjoyed the one in Cannes. We're going to see how Paris does next.
Now, quite honestly, I wouldn't think of Paris as being your aquarium spot.
They have jellyfish there that I've never seen before, so I'm really looking forward to the jellyfish.
All right, fair enough. Do you think the French then eat said jellyfish?
Oh, I don't want to talk about that.
Because I think they would probably put it in a cream sauce.
No. I don't need to know.
So, yeah, so we're going native this week here, shooting the podcast, and we're getting a lot of people that are walking by looking at us strange, which, you know, I'm used to now being an American in the south of France. It's just kind of goes with the territory. But again, we're a marketing podcast here, right? So we're probably going to need to discuss the lessons that we've learned in
Yes.
our baguette mic holder too, which we have to be careful about moving it back and forth. It's the first time I've ever been able to eat a mic holder when I'm done.
Yeah, this is my first experience using bread as a mic.
Yeah, so we're kind of excited about that. Maybe I'll make some mic holder recipes afterwards.
Ooh, if you would like that, drop it into the comments.
Yes, mic holder recipes. But on a serious note, you know what's been interesting? So Christy has been in France now have you been here yet a week, or is it like?
Almost a week.
But myself, I've been here for a month. That's probably why I've been absent from all of our photos in said Sea Point media back in the office. But with that, I've been working remote here from the south of France. And it's really interesting because when I say south of France, I think most Americans think about places such as Nice or Provence or Monaco and that side of things. Um, and they don't really know about this part of the south of France. And where we are is right now we're in the city of Perpignan.
Papagnon.
Perpignan. I also, if you're a native French speaker and you want to roast me in the comments, go for it. But it's kind of interesting. Is it's not an area Americans have heard of or Americans have come to. Have you met any other Americans on your journey?
I have not, and I've also been very surprised at how much people love Americans here.
Yeah, that was a big shock to me too, because with the current climate of what's going on back home and rising nationalism feelings, I really thought we were going to get some blowback, some like, all right, Americans, and maybe we'll get that when we go to Paris. But as of right now, it's been pretty chill, pretty like we love Americans.
Yeah, I feel a little bit like a celebrity here every time someone hears our accent, or finds out that we're American. They're like, "Whoo, Americans!" They're very excited.
They are very excited. I think the funniest moment was for me was I was at the market, like one of our first days here, and there was a sausage sales guy. He had like a little display of all of his sausages, wonderful sausages. And I'm trying to talk to him in my very, very limited French, and I'm apologizing for being an American. And he's like, no, no, no. And then like in deadpan, like American accent, the guy did not speak a word of English except for, in a perfect American accent, goes, America first. And yeah, that was my introduction to they're okay with Americans in these parts.
Yeah, I was kind of hesitant to wanting to bring out how American I was, but people are very pro-American. I was not expecting that. I was thinking people were going to think we were just dumb, but they were excited about it.
Yeah. That said, I am at the moment just a little curious because like right over our shoulder, there's two like station security people, and I'm like wondering if they're about to shut this down, or because maybe I'll get arrested for the misuse of a baguette.
So on that, let's tell everyone the story about other run-ins with the French police that you've had here.
Yeah, so turns out, and this I think actually segues into an important lesson that we've learned about the French and Europeans, and I think this comes back to, we're going to come 100% back to marketing here, but turns out the French are not as excited about drones as Americans. Who would have thought?
They don't have experience with drones here like we do. We are so used to seeing drones that it doesn't faze anybody, but it quite fazed them here.
Yeah, so I was droning I've studied all the laws before coming here. I was doing a little bit of droning on the beach, and next thing I knew, there was two police officers visiting me with no English spoken, and it was one of the funniest run-ins because on one hand, they're asking me for my authorization and they're calling headquarters to sort out, could I really drone where I was at? Obviously, somebody had made a complaint about it. But at the same time, they were also trying to tell me in their broken English that I look like Tom Hanks and how excited it was that I was an American and where I was from America.
I wonder if you could have lied and passed as Tom Hanks and gotten away with it.
I probably could have, but then I feel like I would have started an international incident. And, and then they would be like, it would be on the news, like Tom Hanks and his drone on the local news or something. And I don't want to do that to Tom Hanks' PR team.
I would like to do that to Tom Hanks' PR team. I feel like it'd be funny.
It might have got me out of the incident, but it was a pretty funny miscommunication. My French is not great. They put me on the phone with somebody who spoke some English, but he was really freaked out that I was flying the drone and told me I had to go to the civil administration office the next morning. It was a Sunday evening that I was droning. So I was super worried. I went into the civil administration office thinking, they were going to grill me, ask me for all my documentations. And I walked in and I explained, again, English-French barrier, my limited French, their limited English. And the reaction to me was, why are you here? So yeah, that was a lot of worrying for nothing. But good on the local police to be super vigilant when they didn't know what to do with droners. But yeah, that was an interesting experience. But let's turn this back into marketing. Marketing. So what's really interesting is this really helped me appreciate this month in France the difference between the Americans' perspective about privacy and the European perspective about privacy.
In what way?
Well, one of the things I thought was really interesting. So, in the States, we've heard a lot about GDPR. I think that's the acronym, but for the European Union privacy rights. And it really makes the internet unusable here in Europe because every single website you go to, it pops up a little warning and it's like, hey, do you want cookies? Do you want cookies? We got cookies. Do you want our cookies? And every single website you visit before you can read the thing you want to read, before you do what you need to do, see that video, you got to say, I'm
Consent to all.
Consent to all. So, and I thought that was an overreaction by European bureaucrats, right? Like it was like government officials being like, we're going to make some cool rules. But my time here, it's really helped me appreciate Europeans value their privacy a lot more than Americans do. So again, I got people walking by wondering why I'm talking into a baguette. So, it's a great moment. But you may have noticed, for instance, that in shooting this podcast, I'm actually trying to limit the visibility of people behind us. And that's purposeful. Like I could have set it up so you could have seen the actual trains or you could have seen going out the back area. But again, the laws are super touchy about not photographing people. And then there's some really high civil penalties if you were to video someone and then for instance, their voice showed up in it, or their image showed up in it in a commercial setting. And so I thought that was really interesting because, they would, in the States, we wouldn't care that much. We'd plop down in a mall, people would be walking behind us. TV stations would do stuff like that. You'd be more worried about people trying to get in behind your shot and do goofy stuff.
Not here. And I am a little worried that people are crowding in right now.
Yeah, because they're like, why is there a guy with a camera here talking into baguette? Yes. Pardon, je suis American, donc stupid and un peu français. America, just English. Yeah, English. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Well, that commercial break was brought to you by a panhandler in French. You probably only heard my part of it, but yeah. By the way, that's how Bill has been speaking French. So I'm glad I gave you a little demonstration of that.
I'm gonna have to mute that whole part, but I'm gonna keep it in.
No, I feel like we should keep that part in the podcast.
Our battery is gonna die soon.
It is. So yeah, but going back to privacy, it's been really interesting. A couple of thoughts on this. It's helped me to appreciate the latitude that we have in marketing. So in the States, for instance, we'd be in advertising. Sometimes our clients are like, do you think that's creepy? They visit a web page and the next thing you know, we're like, bam, here's a YouTube video about what you just were looking at. And, we have clients come back to us sometimes and say, hey, don't you think people will find that creepy? That you're that targeted and they know what we've been doing. And I think most of the time, my opinion is, no, people are used to it in the States. France?
New perspective on that in other countries now.
Yeah, exactly. Because in France, they definitely would be freaked out by that sort of thing, right?
Yep. I am thinking to myself, I haven't seen any teenagers walking around filming TikToks like you do in America, even just that difference.
Yeah, you don't see that at all. So, yeah, though it is funny, we're definitely getting a crowd now watching the baguette. Yeah. So
we're also celebrity Americans, so.
We are. They were like, is Tom Hanks recording a podcast with a baguette? This is the best day of my life. So I know this is a little bit shorter. This is a only like a 13-minute podcast. But I think our battery's going to die shortly. But we did want to give everyone a little international content. And honestly, I just wanted the excuse to use a baguette as a microphone in public.
Yeah, I'm not going to get another opportunity that doesn't make me look like a lunatic to do this again. So pretty pleased that I got the chance.
And and one other lesson I've learned: baguettes in French, they really are our daily bread because.
Yeah, no, it's not even a trope. It's like, no, we've been eating croissants and baguettes every day.
Yeah, but you really have one day to eat your baguette.
Yes, no, because they're quality.
Well, and also because like 32 hours after that baguette is baked, it could be a building material. Like I could hammer nails with this baguette pretty soon.
Yeah, that's why it's our mic. This one's done for.
Yeah, we actually have our emergency baguette in our bag. That's our edible baguette. This is really just our microphone baguette.
Yeah, when we're done recording, I have a real one to eat and a train to Paris to catch.
Yes. I kind of wish the people that were watching us film with our baguette would come over for a cameo, but I think they've disappeared at this point. So, any parting words to our podcast listeners, Christy?
Thank you for putting up with us.
Yeah, and get ready for my microphone boom stand cookbook that will be dropping later in 2025.
Ooh, that could be a good newsletter option.
Oh, yeah. Subscribe to our newsletter for all of your baguette and news boom stand related cutlery.
Thank you for being here.
Yep. Till next time, folks.
It's the end.
No, it's not. There's more.
There's always more.
Don't be sad. You can catch our full video interviews on our YouTube channel. Come find us.
And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share with your friends so that we're not sad.
And follow us on TikTok.
And Instagram.
It'll make your day happier, promise.
And we'll know if you do. Until next time.